Hey. Hello, everybody. Okay, so the most important thing now is it actually working? If someone can let me know as soon as possible whether they can hear me okay, that would be grand. I can hear you and it's not looping or doing anything strange. Okay, so it looks like it looks like this is very strange. It looks like YouTube, from the time that I set the stream up not long ago, between that time they updated the YouTube app, which is very strange. They updated the YouTube app, and now setting up the live stream is totally different. You can't. It doesn't even look like you can specify an exact time on the phone. But I do most of the stuff on the desktop with that anyway. But at least it's working. Look, anyway. Hello everybody. Welcome to the sound test room again. And for the next, well, this will probably be only half an hour now. But we're going to take a look at some of this cool stuff you can do with the Arturia CMI V, which is a marvelous instrument. Still, when it came out in the 80s, I think it was around 60 grand. It was mental price. That's a famous sound, you know that one. Anyway, so you've got tons of cool stuff, but the most fun you'll have is if you go into the main screen here, and this is where you can set up all these different slots. Now you can stack up to 10 sounds together. So at the moment we've got this one here, and we can go in and have a look here in the browse section and change the patch out from that. So for instance, we could go, okay then. And these are all the original, these are all the original samples that actually came with the machine. So I need to make a few adjustments here to my so I'm just gonna make sure my output's about there, and okay. So you could have, say for instance, this banjo sample in slot 1, and then you could go to say slot 2 and put in, say, why can't we have this on iOS? Yes, we do have this on iOS. It's called the Vogel CMI. It's actually, the app was made by the guy who actually made this, although it's very old now. So yeah, just search for it, Vogel CMI. It's very expensive though. I actually did a tutorial for him. It's on his website years and years ago. Anyway, so we've got these two sounds, right? And I suppose I could put another one in here. Just browse around these cool, we can mix. And if we go into our mixer here, we have a on the auxiliary turn, we have a reverb. So let's turn that on. And then we can send any amount of this reverb here to any of those sounds. So bit of reverb. So I don't know why my auxiliary isn't going to, oh, hang on a minute, I know why. So and also that that crappy banjo sample. So, but all together, let's turn these off. You've created quite a nice patch. Yeah, it's not really worth buying it though, unless you're really into the CMI. It's not AUV3 or anything. So that's the kind of cool stuff you can do. It also has a really, really brilliant sequencer, just like the original Page R that the CMI had. So being able to build up all these slots here. If we go back to sound now, which is control, you have different types of synthesis as well. We have a time synth and a spectral synth as well. So you can make all sorts of different sounds with the CMI. So, I mean, you just heard, it started off sounding absolutely awful just with that little banjo patch, you know, because these are old samples, you know. Now, other things we can do with the sound, we can choose the sample start point. So we choose which one we want to alter. So for instance, this bell thing, we've got an envelope here and we can have it kind of, we can got some control over our envelope, but we can also turn on the loop. So oh, that was a bit loud, wasn't it? Sorry. Yeah, like I said, if you search the sound test room Vogel CMI, you'll find my video for that. So there you go. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with sound. We have vibrato. The sequencer, you can do some really great stuff with the sequencer. So just for fun, let's just put in a few of these C's on here, and we'll put a few offbeats on that kind of bass thing. This is tedious, by the way, programming this sequencer in here. And then we can maybe put a few of these bells every now and then, sort of thing here, maybe where there isn't any other sound. And of course you can change the sound. You've got like kick drums in here. You've got all the cool samples from the original CMI. If we just put this onto note on now. This is how you build your sequences. Very easy. So you've got tuning and mapping. So you can do key scaling for any of the sounds that you want. You'll have a lot of fun in this page swapping out samples. So for instance, let's go back to our banjo patch here. That's already there. And let's just go to the browser and say, well, I'm going to put in something else. Maybe, I don't even know what this is. What is it? Keys? Okay, so cool. Let's stop the sequencer though, because, you know, it's been a bit of a pain. So just let's stop. Nice. I'm gonna, just to give you an idea of how brilliant the sequencer is, I'm gonna give you an idea on some of the patches. You have an awful lot of patches in here, and like I said, an awful lot of the sound. I'll play you some of the original samples in a bit, but now we have this sequence sound, right? But it's nothing to do with the sounds here. I'll go back to the main page sort of thing. But now, play one key. You have all this cool stuff you can do with the sequencer. And it's key relative sort of thing, so But some of these are really, some of them are really, really great. I'm not kidding. Let me just sort this out. And it's, of course, it's sensitive to the... Or is it? I think you can sync it up, actually, and if you go into the sequencer, you can sync everything up. I think. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Main screen, sequencer. Yeah, here we go. And you have loads of different patterns. You can have up to 8 different patterns. It's got polyrhythm, which means you can set your timings for different, like for instance. It's really good fun. Loads of modulation. And it's great because you can change the sound on the fly, you know. Who knows what this will sound like. We go to our kick here. Let's choose by kind of drums. Let's change the snare. So you can do, you know, you can really dig in. I mean, this is a really popular synth from Arturia, you know, and it's been out ages now, but it's still really much loved. I mean, come on. It's proper, isn't it? Now, if you like a sound, of course, you can just go to the sequencer and what we got? Just tap on stop here, and you can use the said, if we do this, if we just go to a template and go, okay, default. So it goes back to that default template. We go to the sound here, and we're in, don't forget, it'll end up in control. You can go to browse, and just these sounds are just absolutely awesome. Let's go back to slot 1. So you can see how many of these you get. You get absolutely tons, and they're really, really short. So for instance, some of the animal ones are really funny, and the human stuff, and some of the guitars are actually really good. All you got to do is look through these banks of sounds and stuff, and you can go and find all the classics are in here. You know, all the really, really famous sounds. It's just finding them, you know. Now the thing is, remember in the back in the day, sampling time was tiny. So to get around that, you need to go to your edit and start to manipulate the sound there. Now you can do this by enabling loop, and then you need to play around with the loop length all you like, you know, where it'll actually loop the sound from at the bottom here. So that's loop, and then you've got backwards and forwards looping. Sorry. And that'll bounce between the loop point there. Got a bit of filtering. And you can send the auxiliary off. Now you also have, if we go to edit here, not edit, where is it? Can't blink in mixer. Right, you can also, so I know we've got our you know, reverb, and we can send our auxiliary send, but excuse me, we also have track inserts, so we can send a chorus maybe. Turn that down a little bit for you. So you've got a chorus, you could put in a delay. You can have a lot of fun with sound design with the CMI. Let's go to another patch. Oh yeah, and so sound, we were playing with sound, weren't we? Just let me back up here with another default patch. And go back to my browse. So with that, you'd want to, with this sound for definite, you'd want to put the you'd want to put the loop on. It's hard to get up hold of this, you know. There we go. So now you've got like that helicopter effect. And of course, because it's old, it speeds up as it goes up and down the keyboard. Let's go back to our sound, shall we? Our browser. But you know, all these cool sounds you'll hear when I start playing patches are all made up of this stuff. So it's fun. So like I said, you know, you can switch to banks this way. What's this? Brass. Now some of these sounds, they're really, really good. If we look at some brass sounds. It doesn't sound, I'm reckoning this has been looped. No, it's just a long sample. We can put loop on, it'll go really fast though. Till we adjust the loop length. It's hard to get it. It's really hard to get it spot on. But when you start to put your effects on, like, and you go into your mixer and put on, say, really make it sound quite nice. So I need to find a few more of these sounds. Let's turn this effect off and just reduce this. Let's see what we've got. You got analog sounds. We got. So on their own, they don't sound. They don't sound brilliant. Unless you kind of really want to do something super retro, of course. But when you start building up and stuff, you can create some amazing stuff. Which brings us to, let's get out of this screen for a bit now. Which brings us to listening to some of these patterns. You can search like this way, with just taking any sounds from here, or we can just go to our patches here. So I'm gonna play a few pad sounds and things and sequences and sound effects and stuff just to give you an idea of what's actually capable when you program it properly. Now don't forget all these samples are in there, you know what I mean? So it's all been made up of those sounds. This is a glitchy kind of choir. I'm going to turn the microphone down now. Let's have some fun now. Let's record a few bits and pieces. What I might do is convert these into loop mix packs, because I like to do that. That's really good fun. Pick another sound just for fun. I'll keep that pinned open. So I want to go with some sort of sound effects. Let's see, what's this? Cool beans. Sorry about that. Bounce that. Cool. Get rid of that Midi. That's actually really nice sound. Oh, it's all good for the laugh. So I want maybe some... Cool bananas. Let's bounce that. Oh, I better go in a minute as well. Sorry it was a short one, guys. I did technical issues with the start of the stream down to YouTube. Nothing to do with me, but you know, there you go. What can you do? Anyway, let's see. I'm going to add another couple of tracks. While you say ta-ra to each other, I shall carry on with this. Bless you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, I do apologise for it being such a short stream. Hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow with something a bit more sensible. Anyway, I will see you all later. So while I'm adding another couple of tracks to this, you can start saying ta-ra to each other, and I will see you later. Ta-ra.
you.